Hello, everybody. Naughty Nana Des. Happy Saturday to everybody. Hope your weekend's going well. We're nice and quiet on the street today. Hardly any noise at all. Vivi, you gonna say hello? Good girl. Good girl. Say hello. Okay. Let me turn this around not too fast so I don't make anybody dizzy. Hello. So, how is everybody? Let me get in the middle here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to talk about Georgia today. Fabulous state of Georgia. Drove through there on my way to Florida with my kids when they were right young. Beautiful, beautiful. There, Kentucky. Oh, geez, fabulous, fabulous. Don't care for their politics, however. So anyway, I just want to say, so if you're living in Georgia, eligible to vote, buckle up, Georgia. Georgia State Board of Elections has been pushing through rules that are cementing election lies and putting them into their policies. That's right. So if you're new to the channel, give us a thumbs up, like me, love me, share me, and please subscribe to the channel. So we'll go through that. Here we go. So part of their election lies putting into policy, one of the rules allows election officials to navigate and investigate the process before certifying election results. It allows the election officials to investigate the process before they have to give you the results. And number two, allows county board members to examine all election related documentation created during the conduct of elections prior to certification of results. Let that sink in. So the Georgia State Election Board approved a rule that requires counties to hand count the ballots cast on election day. Hand count. Because they're trying to prove that there's fraud in elections like they did in 2020. But they did 3 hand counts in all the different audits. And they all came out, the hand counts matched the machine counts to a T. But that's not good enough. Redundancy is the policy. So, they impose these rules, but expect the results the same day as the election. There's a lot of people in Georgia, and if they're going to have to hand count every single ballot, that's going to take time. And they, being the Republicans, are trying to get these things in line, because that's what we were saying before, we're going to hand count everything, but they want the results the same night. It's not going to happen. You need to hire a million and a half friggin' octopuses with that many arms to count that many ballots. So, and that won't happen because of the sheer volume of ballots that's going to be cast this election cycle, because nobody's letting this shit slide this year. Georgia AG, Attorney General, Secretary of State, and many of the public oppose the new rules. Many election officials oppose the rules because they said it would be physically impossible to accomplish this in all but the tiniest little counties, because a hand count is required to be done quickly. When things get done quickly, humans make mistakes. So those 2 new rules weren't enough. They now are proposing 11 new rules. 11 new rules and amendments, which, if passed, will disrupt the elections administration and voter confidence, no doubt in my military mind. So Georgia has already passed rules to expand their role in the elections and allow interference in the results of the elections that they don't like, i.e., if a Democrat wins, they will not certify that because they don't like that. Georgia is working overtime, changing the rules to one end, to get GOP candidates elected any way possible. Doing the end run, or the Green Bay sweep, as Navarro was talking about. There are stopgaps placed there by law that they have to follow, but they're trying to do end runs around that too. And by law, neither individual members of a county election board or full boards have unconditional access to election documents prior to election certification. Nobody has any access to those things, and unless what happened in Arizona last year and somebody's going to prison. Crew has investigated all this stuff. And by the way, Crew's the one that I got this information. Crew stands for Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. And they are doing some fabulous work all across your great country down there. Fabulous work. But they found the new rules will only abuse and could impose undue burdens on election workers, like they did to Lady Ruby and her daughter Shay Moss. They can make up all kinds of stuff. So they have a 6-day period where it gets really hectic. All these ballots are coming in, not only from election day, but they're coming in from around the world. All the people stationed overseas in the military and stuff, embassy officials, people that just work in corporations overseas. All those ballots come in a 6-day period between election day and certification day. They have 6 days to count millions of ballots, and they want them all done by hand now. So if the rules pass, the earliest they can take effect is October 10th. And this is where it's going to get dicey, because that's just 5 days before early voting starts in Georgia. 5 days before. So that's just going to confuse the supreme hell out of everybody, even election workers, because they've got like 5 days to bone up on all this stuff before they open the doors for early voting. So election officials will be the ones that will be put upon, as these new rules are going to lead to more errors and delays in the counts. And Republicans don't want delays. They expect everything like this. Well, I'm sorry, but the world does not turn that way. It just doesn't. So Georgia is part of a growing trend in the country. This election cycle, where states, in states where government officials and election officials want to stretch their roles and not certify the results of the ones they don't like. There can be as many mistakes and fraud going in their GOP candidate, but they'll pass that. But if a Democrat wins, they don't like that result. Election deniers have already laid the groundwork to delay the certification, which is going to throw the whole system off, right? The whole system gets thrown off. So be vigilant. These election deniers of the 2020 election are ready to implement their new plans and their self-imposed rules. They already did the trial run in 2020, and now they know where they made their mistakes, and they're going to try to remedy that situation even after it was proven that Joe Biden won Georgia by 11,779 votes. The governor, Kemp, state's attorney general, and Raffensperger all said that the 2020 Georgia election was free, fair, and one of the most secure in the country. But it doesn't stop them. It doesn't, because they can't take no for an answer. And proven that everything was above board, it doesn't stop the MAGAs who are too gullible to believe the evidence that is right in front of their face. They would rather believe Dinesh D'Souza and his 200 mules there. Even he, after all the friggin' lawsuits that were put out for all that false information that he put out there, and all the bullshit and sleight of hand with the filming and stuff and the editing. Even he in court said that, yeah, it was bullshit. So stay vigilant, folks. I'm going to do some on some other states later on, but I thought I'd start with Georgia. I like that state. It's one I've been to. So yeah, we're going to go do a couple other. I think I'm going to get into Arizona too, because they're kind of dicey over there too. But, oh, Ruben Gallego is mopping the floor with that Carrie Lake. When she's more like a drop in a pond right now. She's not quite a lake. But anyway, yeah, he's coming up on double digits on her. So anyway, that's what's going on in Georgia. So if you're there, check it out. Make your voices heard. Make them heard. Vote early, and because DeJoy is getting rid of some sorting plants and stuff like that, not wanting to pay overtime, get them in early. Doesn't matter what they have to be postmarked by. Get them postmarked like 2 weeks before that to be safe. Anyway, Naughty Nana loves you. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. I love you so much. Mwah. And Willie, if you're out there, Nana says hi. I love you so much. Take care of you first.